you're welcome to the first interview segment of New Dawn, the Wednesday edition. And we're looking at the 2023 elections. We just had the first half, the first part. The second part is coming up this Saturday, but then we're looking at security, which is a very, very vital aspect of the election. We're looking at security, president-elect, and the task ahead. And this morning we're being joined by a security expert, Otunba Adejare Adegbero, live on Zoom this morning. You're welcome, sir. Good morning. Good morning, all. It's good to have you join us at this strategic time in the history of our nation. We're looking at security and the situation around the elections, and then what are the expected things. But maybe we should put things in perspective. From your own perspective, how would you assess the first half of that election, the presidential election, the National Assembly election? How would you assess the security ambience of that election?
Well, first and foremost, the election in safety-wise, I think they did quite well, because if you look at the architect of what is going on in the security aspect, right now we have the army, who does not have enough manpower because they're already fighting Boko Haram, terrorism, they're all in different bases. But for this particular election, even with that ongoing security matters in Nigeria, which hasn't been fully tackled, I think the police, the civil defense, and the army did extremely well with the small manpower that they had. I know for a fact that police was very ready, because they've been training their staff, not old staff, the new, not new staff, the old staff, they've been training them. And they were quite prepared for the election. And if you see this election to past election, you see that the rate of violence was actually smaller than the previous elections that has previously happened in Nigeria.
Okay, well, Otunba, the first leg of the election, the presidential and National Assembly elections were quite peaceful, even the southeast. And I could recall that prior the election, there were fears in some quarters. Some even said the election might not hold. But now it's held, and we are preparing for the second leg. So then how can we sustain this? How can this, even after election, or what does this say about the state of our security architecture? If Southwest, all the better as it could be, was relatively peaceful.
Yes, it was peaceful, because before the election, again, this will happen, that will happen. Even after the election, where this will happen, that will happen. But thank God we did not see it. Yes, there's a few witches here and there. But generally, overall, we are very, very, very well. I'm very happy for Nigerians and everybody that took part in the election, that they were all armed at the end of the day.
Okay, now, how would you look at the synergy between the various arms of the security in Nigeria? Would you, from your own assessment, do you think there is good enough synergy, as we are moving forward into the next, to the governorship and then the state House of Assembly elections? How would you rate that synergy? Is there a cooperation, visible cooperation, satisfactory cooperation, as it were?
Well, from my perspective again, the police did extremely well, the civil defense did well, the army did well, and I believe the synergy was quite well. And I think going forward for the governorship and state house of assembly election, it will only get better, because they have more time and they know the lapses that maybe they are seeing during the presidential election. But I have full confidence in them to be able to keep Nigeria secure and the election secure.
Well, the topic, presidents are elect and tax ahead. So let's put that into perspective now. Yes, by the time the president-elect is sworn in, how should he approach, the safety of lives and property in Nigeria? As a security expert yourself, what do you think could be added?
Well, the present administration, I believe, is doing it their best shot. I would say the president-elect, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, would need to make sure he has the right competent security heads, and also to have a sort of synergy between all of them, and definitely to look at manpower from all around Nigeria so that we can have a good, robust security system that is working. For instance, right now, if you put all together those security agencies, we are under 1.5 million people to man a country of 250 million Nigerians. If you look at that, you will not tend to wonder that how will they be able to cope. So also you look at it, the security agencies are covering ministers, are covering governors, are covering PAMSECs, so they're taking out of their base from what they already have, from DSS to police to civil defense. So we really need to find an action plan that the president cuts all these excesses and let us focus more on the security aspect of personnel. Secondly, we all need to I will advise the president-elect also to look at it critically, that the welfare of the police, the civil defense, and the military needs to be well funded. They need houses, they need allowances, they need health insurance, they need school insurance, because these people that are talking about are all human beings. And if they cannot satisfy all this, how would you go and perform your duty properly with your soul and mind? But if all this is covered, I think pretty well that the president-elect would have a smoother tenure than the president-elect, than the presidency that we are currently in right now.
Okay, you sound a little optimistic there that the president-elect will have a smoother tenure in terms of security. What gives you that? Are you in tandem? Are you in discussion with Boko Haram? Are you in discussion with kidnappers? Are you in discussion with bandits? To be this optimistic that they are going to let off a little, and then the incoming president or the president-elect might have a better disposition or a better tenure, a better time in terms of security. What gives you that boldness and confidence? What is your strength coming? Where is your strength coming from in that regard?
Well, first and foremost, the president-elect is somebody that I've known since I was 16, and from his activities, he does not tolerate nonsense. And he will bring Nigeria together. And if you could foster that from Lagos State, look at what Lagos State is, which is whereby Security Trust Fund is very safe. You get what I'm saying? So that confidence is there that I know it's part of his priority, that he wants to keep Nigerians safe and secure. And also, if I may chip in, if you're looking at the states that are not really that social security is serving, would be Lagos State and Ogun State, because it can move around and relatively there's no problem. But I know from MEFA, and I believe from MEFA, that the president-elect will surely curb security, because I know it's one of the top things he wants to tackle. Because if he doesn't tackle that, how will the economy grow? How will the investors come into the country, especially becoming a new president, a new term? So generally, I think he has that passion, and we should give it to him. Likewise, I would say for Lagos State Governor Sanwo and Ogun State Governor Prince Dr. Abiodun, who has shown us that he can actually work Ogun State is very, very, very safe, and I give kudos to them, and they should continue doing what they're doing, because it will only get better.
Well, Otunba Abigail, there were intense calls for restructuring, and part of that is that the security architecture in Nigeria should be decentralized. Stakeholders bemoaned the centralization of our security architecture, and there were calls for state policing. If that is brought to the fore again, I mean, what do you foresee? Is that the way to go?
Well, there are two ways you can look at the situation. If you look at the situation, yes, state policing is good, but generally because of the system we run in Nigeria, I don't think it will work. Because indirectly you're making the government very powerful, because they own the state police. They don't know what happens to the central police, which is the federal police. You get what I'm saying? So it's not something I think for now we need to tackle on. Let us get it right, then we cannot go forward. It's not something you just easily just rush into that, because you have to cross your teeth and dot your eyes.
But when you talk about getting it right, what exactly do you mean by getting it right? Where, in what specific areas are you looking at that, as a nation, we've got to secure this before we can begin to think of other areas?
You see, the problem we have in Nigeria is that everybody duplicates their job. Your security agencies. We need to centralize it. Everybody needs to know what they have and what they're bringing to the table. You get what I'm saying? So the lapse that we've had in kidnapping, for instance, you get what I'm saying? Police goes, army goes, military goes, you get what I'm saying? But everybody is acting to their own script according to what they have been briefed. But in my own layman advice would be that we must make sure that we have a good synergy. That is indirectly you're looking at the National Security Advisor, who is the advisor to the President on Security, to advise the President-elect, whoever he decides to choose as his NSA, to be giving a clear picture of where the loopholes are. They will not all come together. Nigerians, not religion, not tribalistic, nothing. They should cohabit and go forward to help all these loopholes. For instance, now, if you look at it, our borders are very porous. You get it? So you have inflows and outflows. Definitely, that is not. Who minds our borders? That's custom. We need to restructure custom to know that, okay, these people that are coming in, these people that are smuggling arms, ammunition, and chemical weapons are being stopped. You get what I'm saying? We see custom come out and we say they've seen them, they've taken a lot of, we see a lot of ammunition, we see it on TV, thanks to the media, and they burn them up. But nobody is doing the right thing. That's why I'm concerned. The first thing custom should be doing is to make sure that every bullet has a barcode, every gun has a barcode, and they try to trace it to the manufacturers. Who bought these things? Who paid for it? Who shipped it? You get what I'm saying? These are questions that is a normal question any ordinary man would ask. But no, nobody asked that. And it's also for the media to also put up a fight that, okay, all these things, where are they coming from? Everybody seems to ignore it. So if unemployment is so bad and the youths are not going into this thing because obviously they don't have anything to live on, you get what I'm saying? Obviously it is something that I believe that the president is actually, the president-elect is going to look into. He has to look into it because Nigeria is a ticking time bomb, but at the same time, we, all of us, when I say we as a nation, as a Nigeria, as I say, I'm Nigerian and I'm Tricom 7, we all need to foster and give the president-elect the chance to let him do his work so that he can look at all these things. The right people should go to the right places. If you're going to have a custom man, the man will duly be a custom system man. If you're going to have a police IG, like the current IG, he's doing an amazing job. He's nice about how he does his job, but underneath, being a security expert, he's doing it. The civil defense is also doing the same thing. And I'm quite surprised that they actually won this fight in this election, that they really showcase themselves that they can handle crime. Army would always handle security issues because they are more ordained to that. They are the second response. The first response is actually your police, civil defense, before you now get to the army. So for me, all of them if they have a budget, the budget should be centralized, that they are not duplicating different equipment. Let everybody know exactly the equipment that will be integrated so they all know how to tackle this thing.
Okay, you talked about mopping up illegal arms. I know there were calls for the creation of another agency that will be saddled, primarily with that responsibility. But some might think, why can't we then maybe fortify or strengthen the customs to do that? Having another agency, is that the silver bullet? Won't this lead to too much plurality or multiplicity of security agencies?
Which agency are you actually talking about now? Because there's so many agencies.
Yeah, we read of NATCOM the other time, but I know it's not yet Uhuru. And there also are other agencies that are being mooted in some quarters.
Well, if you say NATCOM, for what I read about NATCOM is strictly for the importation and of ammunition, illegal weapons and chemical weapons. I know that we went through the House, right now maybe it will be President or Senate, but it is needed that that is community-based all the way to the top. You get what I'm saying? Intelligence is what we need. And I know that the conjunction with the ECOWAS treaty, that's why they want to become a commission. Because, if you are part of the ECOWAS treaty, a national commission on task force, which is NATCOM now, you would see that anywhere anybody is bringing, look at the way ships come and go out from Africa. You have that synergy, they're going to tell you, oh, this is on the way to your country, or this is on the way out of your country. That synergy, we need it. Because, and you see, as I say to you every time, this thing that we're talking about, there's still not enough manpower for Nigeria with the current price rate that is going on. So anybody that is coming on board, we need it. Because look at it, you're saying all these things that come through. You have the fishermen who give you intelligence. You have to go to the traditional institution and talk to them. So they're going to talk to the people against crime, who is doing this and who knows this. If you respect the traditional institution, then I believe a lot of intelligence will come out. Because once you've caught the billion of illegal arms and ammunition, you get what I'm saying? You are already beating the war. But not the one that we are not beating the war that any Tom, Dick and Harry can go and buy weapons for whatsoever amount and use in Nigeria. I believe that is a shame.
Now, you have touched on a particular aspect of security which I actually wanted to take you on, and I'm glad you talked about that. That's intelligence. How strong is our intelligence response and capability in terms of the situation at hand? Some people are even of the opinion that we are not proactive at all. How would you rate our intelligence gathering now, as it were, as in terms of security, and then in terms of the national spread, in terms of all the challenges that we have?
Well, if you're looking at it now as we speak, yes, intelligence is okay, it could be better. But you see, that when you synchronize and have a certain plan, and that plan, we have to go to the state government, and the state government to the traditional rulers. I keep mentioning the traditional rulers because they control their zones. And it's from those zones they will get information of what is going on. I spoke about fishermen. They will tell you what is going on. If you go to the less privileged that want to go into this thing, they will tell you what is going on. But secondly, I feel they are doing okay for now, but they could do better. And for them to do better, we too have to look inward ourselves as human beings. Like what can we contribute to it? Because this thing affects every single Nigerian. We cannot be selfish about this thing. We should be able to say, take for instance now, community policing that I believe they've been doing, the police have been doing. If a man if you are there now, you see somebody coming into your house, into your estate, from nowhere, and you see his activities, you should be able to tell the police that, we have this new person in our area, this is what I'm not quite sure of this. But we don't have all those checks and balance. So that's why they can go and hide anywhere and nobody will give the information. Because if you're looking at them saying they are going to be fighting the army in such troop and they are weakening our army and our army also are trying in some certain areas, where are they staying? Where are they hiding? We have all the drones, we have all these things. So things need to now come to the local content level to get information. And we all have to do it. If you see something going wrong round your office, round your house, round your village house, round your father's house, you should be able to report it to the police. Right? That so and so people are coming here, we don't know where they're from, but please, can you check into them? And I think more intelligence will come in that way.
Okay. But is community policing what we really need? Because there seems to be a limitation, the fact that they cannot bear sophisticated arms and ammunitions. I know we are dealing with terror, particularly terrorism, particularly up north, dealing with kidnapping, violent criminality.
Yeah, but if you look at it, Mario, it is very simple. You say community policing. Community policing is based on intelligence. If you have intelligence that so and so person is living here and has got this ammunition here, or they have this ammunition here, they know that comes back to your level colleague that this is part of the synergy we are talking about. You get what I'm saying? Also, we go back to the manpower. These things are the things that is going to cripple the kidnappers, the Boko Haramists, the herdsmen, and all. Because once you have that information in hand, and there's a synergy between the police, the army, the civil defense, and the other security agency, it will now be that they're speaking from one voice, and they will tackle it, and I believe they will tackle it well, which the president-elect has done in Lagos. We've seen the structure put down in Lagos, which is what we're still living on until today, and is a role model state. If you see other states, you can go, they have come to where is my state, I'm a guy, as you know, I come to Abeokuta and I'm sick. And I've been funny enough that I've never been attacked in my life apart from being attacked in Abuja.
Okay.
Which I now is aware of the incident. Right? So you can see relatively well that Lagos are doing very well. In other parts, I'm sorry I don't go there, so I cannot say what I do not know.
Well, Lagos is just a state. We have 36 states and the FCT. So, how sure are you that whatever that is working in Lagos would work looking at the wider, perspective, in a wider perspective?
Well, no, if somebody has done well in Lagos or and is mounting the horse now, I think he will do quite well. The president-elect is somebody that comes up with ideas that nobody comes up with, which at times baffles me that where does this man get this thing from? And if you look at it, this is a man that a lot of people do not know the history of our president-elect, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, who I call Daddy, that he fought the military.
Okay.
He was Nadepo. If you can remember, my late grandfather was assassinated by the military, who was the financier of Nadepo, who Senator Bola Tinubu, the president-elect, Asiwaju Madadi, he was a key part of that thing. So do you know what it is?
Okay.
You have the likes of Daddy Oshaba. You get what I'm saying? So if you look at the people, the character of what they face doing there, it is only right that they will be able to do it now that presidency has come into their hands. I'm happy about it. You get what I'm saying? And I believe that people should rally round. Nigeria needs to be won. And that is what everybody do not understand about the president-elect. These people were fighting for Nigeria. They were not fighting the military because they wanted Southwest to be their own country. No. They only had that in the East. You get what I'm saying? But upon all that, people are not looking at the true picture that this man has done his due. And we saw.
What happened? Okay. Well, we it seems we've lost him there, but we'll try and reestablish. Okay.
Yeah, you're on.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, we can. No, you are still.
We can hear you
I
loud
can
and
put on your video. So we'll get to see you. Okay.
Well, we're still looking at security, the president-elect and the tax ahead. Okay, we can see you now. You can continue from where you left off.
Are you seeing me?
Yes,
we can.
We can.
Okay. Yes. From where we left off, so it was Adebayo was fighting for Nigeria as a whole against the military. So we've done it. Now they are in the driving seat, and I believe everybody should rally around him and make sure that from the mandate of what we have been in the past, to make sure that this new government, they get it right. If you don't get it right, well, you have another 4 years, you vote, the people that voted in will be the same people to vote out. But I doubt that very much, because this is a man that knows how to put people together, the right team together. He has done it very well to make sure that they all work good.
Okay, now there's always this cliche, that people who come into government would always say. They will say, okay, we didn't know things were as bad as this. We knew things are bad, but we never knew that things are as bad as this. Are you sure he's not going to also come to terms with the realities on ground, and then we will still be able to muster enough strength? And don't forget that people also call, although we disagree, because that's not Nigeria, they say the Nigerian factor that's always looking for loopholes. That when they look at banditry now, for example, and kidnapping, some people are seeing it as serious business. And they form a cohort, a kind of a synergy, in such a way that it makes it difficult. Even some security agencies are bought in by virtue of the poverty level of the country. So the myriad of these challenges, are you sure they are not going to come in and say, we really know things are as bad as this, and then they begin to go on another explanation for the next four years. Like, we didn't create this problem, you can't expect us to take care of it. What it took 24 years to destroy. Are you sure you are not going to get that same song again? You can unmute yourself.
Nigerians are not that patient when it comes to this thing. Yes, you cannot know every single thing that is in the government, what is going on right now, to the full extent of when you get there. But it now comes to capacity. Yes, our president-elect has that capacity, and as I've told you, he has the right team to put it in place. We've been in position when General Sheldon Obasanjo was president in 1999, we were in the same position, and he was going all around looking for debt relief and all those things. I believe that our president-elect has it, and he has the right team, both in security, both in finance, to put themselves together to see how we can get out of this turbulent poverty level that is going on in the country.
All right. Now, as we begin to bring everything to a close, as we're looking at this Saturday's election, what are your expectations? What are you expecting the security scenario to be? What do you think the security agency should do better? And then what, on the part of INEC, what are also your expectations?
Well, the thing is, INEC has come out and said there was a little bit hitch on that. I believe that we'll get it right for this Saturday. And I also believe that, logistics should, by now, materials should start moving around. Not that last minute.com. You get what I'm saying? so that you won't say that, oh, Nigeria came late, they could not vote and all these things. All these things needs to be tackled. But then again, it's easy for anybody to criticize. We do not know whether funds have been released to them or not, which seems to be part of this election process, which a lot of people are complaining about because they cannot move around, because there's no cash around in the system. For whatever reason, I believe the CBN governor got it wrong, because he could have waited till after election, educate these people. I mean, people that want to go out and actually vote, they need transportation to get to their villages, wherever they're voting at. Like me now, I vote in Iwego, so you cannot imagine that they're living in Abuja to go all the way to Iwego. If you do not have money in your pocket, you go to the road. No. So this time around, I believe that now that CBN, from what I read yesterday, I said that we should start serving the old laws, so that for logistics purposes and for Nigeria, they have money to go and vote and money to eat during this voting period. Generally, I think everybody will be prepared, and I urge the Nigerians, I urge them seriously to come out and vote properly. And I would also appeal to them from any other parties involved that they should all be civil, talk to their people, their voters, that they should be calm. If there's any incident, they know the right voters to go and report it on. Technology has gone too far now. There are videos that INEC has said it can report and get to this thing. So I believe we should toe on the line of the road, because I believe in rules and regulation. And secondly, we all talk. When people were saying that this cashless and this sweat of money came into town, everybody did not talk about the EFCC. The EFCC chairman has done well by seizing a lot of millions from different people that we do not know what they're going to use it for. If it's vote buying, I do not know. I don't want to criticize that. But people should also give them the respect that they did try to mop up people just having cash and not other people having the cash, which was also a good call from their own pocket. So I give my back to the head chairman of the EFCC and his team, because he too was working out with them. So, generally, I'm begging people that they should not go out in violence. This Nigeria is for all of us, not tribal, not religion. Let us look for the best man that suits the job. My perspective is that the president-elect, 101%, not because I've known him at a small age, not because he's former Madeko, who was like his son to my late grandfather after the honor. But the most important thing is that I know he has that capacity, and I would urge Nigeria to vote for him any day, because he has been tried from every single protest. Because when we started all this, all the other aspects were away. These are names that are just popping up. They say age is not about age. This man has that capacity, and he has the right people around him. Till today, the shadow cabinet has still the people that works for him. He doesn't abandon people. And he is the only contestant that has consistently since he left power helping the masses in Lagos State or other states. You get when people come in Jagaban is not a Yoruba title. So, it's another title. And people should look at it that this man has reached every single corner. He helps. You get what I'm saying? Without him being president. Now that he has, I believe, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Now that he has, I believe strongly. There's something that tells me that he will get it so right. So Nigerians, let's be patient. Let us not be selfish. Let us put everybody that is agreed, put the thing. Yes, people are going to court. You have the right. Anybody has the right to go to court. But even with that, we should try and all work together, which the president-elect had already said that let us all work together. This is about Nigeria. And that is the kind of president that we need. Not a selfish president. Okay. Or a tribalistic president.
Okay, well, ahead of the second leg of the election this Saturday, how then can we strike a balance? That yes, we need the presence of security officials, security agencies and all that, but Nigerians also do not want an election that will be highly militarized. So how do we strike a balance?
And let me also, before you answer that, let me also back what Moses is saying. Nigerians don't want election that is highly militarized. But I looked at my polling unit, for example, and I looked at the police officer that is there, that was there, and I was asking myself, if there is any crisis here and now, can this guy, just because he looks like a rookie, he looks like somebody who's just come out of it. You know, I was just asking myself, okay, if there is any crisis, major crisis now, can this one handle? So how do we now strike that balance? How the hell, I guess, I just wanted to support what the question of Moses.
Okay, let's put it in a nutshell, since you're not into security. You get to look at security. You said you see a lame policeman. Do you know how many policemen that are mufti? Do you know how many military people that are mufti? Because it's also better to scare people not to come out and vote. Always remember that. But I know that there will be a lot all around, but they are not visible to the man's eye. Because you see a man wearing shirt and jeans, you think he's a voter, he's not a voter. He could be a policeman, he could be a military man, he could be a civil defense man. Those are the things that you say, nobody needs to wear their police uniform, camouflage and all this stuff, because they're going to scare people. The elderly will be scared, the youngsters will be scared, you get it? So that is part of the strategy they used. So if they didn't use that, trust me, it would be another way that we would have seen the election go. Because Nigeria is there, why are they coming? They want to cause havoc, they don't have to cause havoc, so police and the security agency will not have to fight them. No, that's not about it. You do not have to have people visible that they are police, army, civil defense. That answers your question.
All right, we want to thank you very much. Unfortunately, time is not in our favor, but I think you have been able to deal decisively with the major issues. We have tried to look at, the task ahead for the president-elect, and you have also given us a good x-ray of the security architecture in Nigeria, and we can only hope for the best. Otunba Adejare, we want to thank you very much for being part of the first segment of our discussion on this Wednesday edition of New Dawn.
And also, please,
okay,
I would like to emphasize what you are the media in Ogun State, what the present governor is doing an amazing job in security, in housing, in roads. We need to promote him because he has done very well. And all these anti-party crises that we are having, one person moving from one party and staying there, eating from that party and wage and not another party's candidate. I believe that also, when the president comes in, the president-elect comes in, we need to look at it so that each party will have a comprehensive constitution. Because you cannot be in one party and remain in one party and going around to have candidates in another party. That is anti-party crisis, and you should immediately, the party should either dismiss them or send them on suspension. Because you see, these are the things that causes problem within the thing. But I see that there is no space in Ogun State. As far as I'm concerned, President Abiodun has done very well, and he should be given the second term without no argument, because you can see clearly that he has done well. Without all the people that have done well, all the ex-governors, they've done very well, and I happen to have known all of them. But particularly this time, this is a man that is not visible. Coming back to what I was telling you about, this is a man that works, and you can see it. Okay. It's not by seeing somebody that makes you change what he's doing. All around Abeokuta, you stay in Abeokuta, you see what is going on. And the media has to go around, ask people, what do you think? Because people are not being as informed. Education-wise.
We want to thank you very much. And I think like the media, we are doing our best. And one of the strategies is also what you are doing now. We brought you on here. We continue to keep the work going. And we want to thank you for those thoughts. Otunba Adejare, thank you for being part of our discussion this morning on New Dawn.
Thank you very much.
All right, sir. So we'll take a break now. When we come back, we're going to look at another issue. and I'm sure it's going to be quite exciting. Stay with us. We are watching the Wednesday edition of New Dawn on Ogun State Television.